As autumn leaves gently drift to the ground, painting city streets in gold and amber, we're reminded of the familiar rhythm of the seasons. The air grows crisp, and across Europe, people begin to prepare for the chill that winter inevitably brings. Normally we brace ourselves for a predictable cold spell, but this year the forecast is anything but ordinary. The usual expectations are being upended, and what lies ahead is a winter unlike any we've seen in recent memory. Meteorological models across the continent are sounding the alarm, warning of a season marked by shocking contrasts and severe challenges. Experts are seeing signals that suggest we're in for a wild ride, with weather that could swing from one extreme to another. Instead of a typical steady cold spell, Europe faces a winter that will test our resilience, adaptability, and infrastructure like never before. Cities and towns may find themselves unprepared for the rapid changes ahead. The latest data points to a season split in two, a deceptively mild start, lulling many into a false sense of security, followed by a sudden intense freeze that could catch millions off guard. This rapid and dramatic shift is being driven by a rare convergence of powerful global climate forces, a strengthening La Niña in the Pacific, a disrupted polar vortex swirling above the Arctic, and a powerful phase of the quasi-biennial oscillation, which is altering the very winds that shape our weather. These forces are rarely aligned in this way, making this winter especially unpredictable. Each of these phenomena can alter weather patterns on their own, but together they create a recipe for volatility and extremes, bringing both unexpected warmth and sudden, dangerous cold snaps. In this series, we'll break down what to expect month by month and how to prepare for the unique challenges ahead. From power grids straining under demand to daily commutes disrupted by snow and ice, every aspect of life will be affected. From the warmth of our homes to the safety of our streets, no one will be untouched by the coming changes. But with foresight, community spirit, and careful preparation, we can reduce the impact and keep our families and neighborhoods safe, no matter what the weather brings. Understanding the science behind this shocking forecast is the first step to resilience. By staying informed and working together, we can face this season of surprises with confidence and hope. This winter, three powerful atmospheric forces are converging to shape the weather across Europe: La Niña, the polar vortex, and the quasi-biennial oscillation, or QBO. Each of these phenomena plays a unique role, but together they create a recipe for potentially dramatic and unpredictable winter conditions. Let's break down what each of these means and why their interaction is so important for the months ahead. La Niña is a climate pattern that cools the surface waters of the Pacific Ocean. This cooling shifts the position of the jet stream, often steering more storms and colder air toward Europe. As a result, La Niña winters tend to be stormier, wetter, and colder than usual, especially in northern and central Europe. The polar vortex, meanwhile, is a vast, swirling mass of frigid air that sits high above the Arctic. It acts like a barrier, keeping the coldest air locked in the far north. When the vortex is stable, Europe enjoys milder winters, but when it weakens or is disrupted, it can unleash waves of Arctic air, plunging temperatures and bringing sudden snowstorms far to the south. This year, meteorologists are watching for a sudden stratospheric warming event, a rapid temperature spike high in the atmosphere that can shatter the vortex's stability. When this happens, the coldest air spills out of the Arctic, sweeping across Europe and triggering severe winter weather. The QBO, or quasi-biennial oscillation, is a shifting wind pattern high above the equator. It alternates between westerly and easterly phases every 14 months or so. This winter, the QBO is entering a strong easterly phase, which tends to make the polar vortex even more unstable and prone to breakdowns. When La Niña's influence combines with an easterly QBO, the risk of a major cold outbreak rises sharply. This rare alignment increases the odds of prolonged cold spells and extreme winter events across the continent. That's why forecasters are sounding the alarm. This rare combination of atmospheric drivers is giving them high confidence in predicting a winter of extremes, one that could bring both disruptive storms and extended periods of deep freeze. La Niña sets the stage by shifting the jet stream and increasing storminess. The QBO further weakens the polar vortex's grip, and when the vortex finally collapses, it delivers a surge of Arctic cold straight into Europe. The result? A winter that may start off deceptively mild, but quickly transforms into a season marked by severe, prolonged freezes and heavy snowfall. Understanding these powerful drivers is crucial for everyone, from city planners to families, so we can prepare for what's coming and stay safe. The science is clear. This winter's risks are real, and the potential for disruption is higher than usual. As these forces collide, all eyes are on the skies. Now let's watch together and see how this extraordinary winter unfolds. As December dawns, a deceptive calm settles over much of Europe, lulling millions into a sense of security. The city streets of London, Paris, and Berlin bustle with life, people wrapped in only light winter coats, enjoying the mild start to the season. It feels almost as if winter is holding back, reluctant to show its true face. This is the early influence of La Niña, which brings a spell of mild, damp weather to the UK, France, and Germany. Temperatures hover a few degrees above the seasonal average, and while rain is frequent, snow remains a rare sight in the lowlands. The air is heavy with moisture, and the skies are persistently overcast, but the real bite of winter seems distant. Yet, further east, a different story unfolds. In Russia and Scandinavia, winter is already tightening its grip. A powerful high-pressure system is building, bringing icy winds and the first significant snowfalls to cities like Moscow and Helsinki. Frosty landscapes stretch across Scandinavia, signaling that the season is about to turn. This growing east-west temperature divide is more than just a curiosity. It's a warning sign of a major shift on the horizon. For now, most Europeans find December manageable. Travel runs smoothly, heating bills are lower than usual, and outside the mountains snow is scarce. People go about their routines, largely untroubled by the weather. But beneath this calm, subtle warning signs begin to appear. Icy patches on sidewalks, a chill in the wind, and a sense of unease among those who watch the skies closely. This is a dangerous time for complacency. Meteorologists are sounding the alarm. This mild pattern is only temporary. A dramatic and potentially severe change is imminent, and those who are unprepared may be caught off guard. By late December, the high-pressure system over Scandinavia and Russia will expand, reversing the usual airflow. Cold, biting east winds will surge into Central Europe, bringing a rapid and intense drop in temperatures. Poland and eastern Germany will be among the first to feel winter's true force, with a sharp temperature plunge and heavy snow arriving just after Christmas. Streets that were recently wet and mild will be transformed by snow and ice. The stage is set for a severe freeze, and the real winter is about to begin in earnest. The calm before the storm is ending. Europe must brace for what comes next. January brings a brutal transformation. A powerful high-pressure block over Scandinavia halts Atlantic warmth, unleashing the beast from the east. Arctic air floods Europe, temperatures plunge 10–15 degrees Celsius below average, and the cold locks in for weeks. Berlin and Warsaw may see highs below 10 degrees Celsius, with nights near 20 degrees Celsius. Even the UK and France remain frozen. The relentless cold is joined by harsh wind chills, raising risks of hypothermia and frostbite. Snow varies, powdery and persistent in the east, but heavy sea-effect blizzards in the west, paralyzing cities like London and Amsterdam. Energy grids strain under demand, risking blackouts. Travel grinds to a halt, pipes freeze, and hospitals brace for a surge in cold-related illnesses. Daily life is upended as Europe faces one of its harshest winters in decades. The test of resilience is real. January will be remembered for its severity. February continues the deep freeze, but with wild swings and new dangers. The cold core lingers over Eastern and Central Europe, but the high-pressure block starts to weaken, creating a battleground with milder Atlantic air. Western Europe faces a volatile mix. One week brings heavy snow, the next freezing rain and black ice, some of the most hazardous winter conditions. Rapid thaws and rain on frozen ground raise the risk of flooding. In the east, the cold persists, with deep snowpack threatening infrastructure and agriculture. The slow retreat of cold air is messy, marked by storms, strong winds, and heavy rain. February ends not with a gentle thaw, but with turbulence and lingering hazards. The continent is left saturated and scarred by a winter of extremes. The transition to spring will be anything but smooth. The volatility of February is a final reminder of this winter's power. The impact will vary sharply across Europe. The UK starts mild, then faces a deep freeze and disruptive sea-effect snow in January. February brings freezing rain and flood risks. France sees a north-south split. Paris and the north endure bitter cold and snow, while the south is spared the worst but still colder than normal. Italy's north faces unusual cold and snow, while Rome and the south remain chilly but avoid the deep freeze. Germany and Poland are at the epicenter, weeks of sub-zero temperatures, deep snow, and relentless wind chills. their main challenge keeping energy flowing and protecting the vulnerable. Russia, used to harsh winters, will see even colder conditions, fueling the cold that grips Europe. The scale of the cold air mass from Russia drives the continent's weather. Each nation must prepare for its unique risks. Daily routines will be upended for millions. Travel becomes hazardous. Snow, ice, and freezing rain snarl roads and cripple public transport. Getting to work or school turns into a major challenge. Energy demand soars, straining power grids and sending bills skyrocketing. Blackouts and gas shortages become real threats, especially for the vulnerable. Hospitals brace for more respiratory illnesses and injuries from falls on ice. The psychological toll of a long, dark winter, seasonal depression and isolation, shouldn't be underestimated. Yet the snow brings moments of beauty and joy, winter sports, snow days, and transformed landscapes. These bright spots offer relief amid the hardship. The season's dual nature, challenge and wonder, will define daily life. Resilience and community will be more important than ever. Preparation is essential for a winter like this. At home, seal drafts, upgrade insulation, service your heating and insulate pipes to prevent freezing. For your vehicle, switch to winter tires, check the battery and antifreeze, and keep an emergency kit with blankets, food, and water. Stock up on essentials: food, water, medications, and batteries, in case you're snowed in or lose power. Dress in layers, and protect extremities when outside. Check on vulnerable neighbors and family members. Stay informed, follow weather alerts, and heed official advice on travel and closures. Keep a battery-powered radio for updates during outages. These steps aren't just smart, they're necessary. With practical action, we can face the winter's challenges together. Preparation is our best defense. Let's ensure our safety and resilience. This winter will be one of Europe's most dramatic in years. Mild beginnings, a sudden deep freeze, and a volatile, stormy end. The rare alignment of La Niña, a disrupted polar vortex, and the QBO sets the stage for extremes. The impacts will touch every aspect of life, from commutes to energy bills. But with knowledge comes power. By preparing homes, vehicles, and communities, we can weather the storm. Staying informed and supporting each other will be key. Our response can be calm and measured, not panicked. The science has given us a warning and a head start. The question is not what winter will bring, but how we'll prepare. Let's meet the challenge with foresight and resilience.